On today's video, I want to talk about micro-limited companies and personal service companies. These are companies that are really small, run by an individual, maybe a small team of people, and they may or may not have some employees. They earn their income through, like self-employed people, except they work through a limited company, and they pay themselves usually by salary. And part of it is paid by dividends. So if they don't earn much money, they don't get much of a dividend. If they earn money, they get a dividend. So they live by their wits. You know, the harder they work, the more cleverer they work, the more they get paid and the more they can have as a dividend. But if they pay a salary, they don't know how much they're going to earn from time to time. So, it's not wise to pay a salary which you can't afford. Now, this is what we're going to be covering on this particular one. So we're going to be talking about personal service companies as well. And these are sort of one-man companies that offer their own services, their own skill. So what have we got to have? What can they get, right? The first thing they can get is they can get statutory sick pay. Now, if they're sick or they have to self-isolate because they've been in contact with someone else, then of course they can get statutory sick pay. And with the statutory sick pay, the government will actually contribute. Normally the government doesn't, but in this particular case, the government has said that they will contribute to the company to put back in their company the statutory sick pay they paid out. It's not very much. I think it's about £90 a week, but it is better than nothing. So you can claim your statutory sick pay if you are not well or you've been self-isolating because you've been in contact with someone and it turns out that you were okay, then you can still claim for up to 2 weeks per employee. Okay, that's only, you get 1 2-week lot and that's your lot. The second thing you can claim for is furlough. So now if you are furloughed, and that means you can't work, you don't work at all, then what you have to do is you can just basically sit at home and either you're going to do some training, which we do lots of to help businesses do better, get ready for the end of this COVID virus. We do that training and they can do training or self-improvement, and as long as they get paid for the training they do at a minimum wage, which is fine. They can still get the 80% furlough. And remember, that's 80% coming from the government. Now, that doesn't mean your company can't also top up the other 20%. If you're on, £1,000 a month wages, then the government will pay £800 and the company tops up £200. Of course, it's taxable. There's tax and national insurance to deduct on that, so the government gets some of it back. But it's a good deal, no question about it. So you get that, but again, it's only on your pretty low salary in normal cases. Most of my clients will earn a very small salary, and as such, that salary is all they're going to be entitled to. Nothing for dividends. Any dividends they get, because they've had, they've earned a bit more, maybe they've earned £30,000 or £40,000 in dividends, or £100,000 in dividends, they don't get anything for that at all. They only get £800 a month, which is obviously not a lot. But that's what you're entitled to. The third thing you can do, of course, is you can claim universal credit. Okay, now if you're stuck, then you can claim universal credit. Be aware that universal credit takes a while. You may have to get a loan on that. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I've never been on the receiving end of it. But my understanding is you make the application and you can ask for a loan. And the loan usually comes within a couple of days. The government announces all of these things and says, oh yeah, it's all done the next day. In reality, the offices are so overwhelmed with the amount of demand that chances are you're probably not going to get the next day payment. So you've got the microservice companies, you get statutory sick pay, you can get furloughed, you can get universal credit, and you can even get loans, right? Now, if you get a loan, remember it is repayable. There is 0% interest for up to 12 months. I'll talk about loans on another video. And those loans will be interest-free for 12 months, and then interest will start getting paid. So not only will you have to pay back the loan, but you have to pay back the interest as well in due course. So just bear that in mind, that it's not a completely free ride. If you qualify, and again, I'll talk about that, then the government will guarantee that you don't have to do a personal guarantee like you normally have to with a loan. So there's no personal guarantee. So it's a good deal. The key thing for me is you've got to really know what the loan is for. Is it really the right thing to do for your business? And we can have a consultation about that, but just bear in mind that, you know, the loans are repayable. And of course, there's no account of dividends at all. And anything you've had in the last 3 years for dividends, you get no notification of, you got no acknowledgement of from the government. You're just left out in the cold. So it is a group of people at the moment, and there's no sense that anyone is getting on this case with the government. We've made pleas, but you know, they've fallen on deaf ears, and so, you know, I'm not convinced that we're going to get anything, you know, as limited companies who work on this basis. So unfortunately, that is what. So the key thing now, if you're in business and you're not if you're a personal service company, are you pricing right? Are you ready for what's going to come next? What's going to come next, you know, could be good or it could be not so good for a while. Are you prepared? Is your business rock solid? Now is a brilliant time. You've got very little to do. You're furloughed probably. You got, you know, all your sources of income have dried up. Now is the time to get your business ready for the release when everything goes back to normal. Hopefully it'll be in 1 or 2 months or 3 months. It may be in 6 months. It may be in 12 months. So you've got to be ready for that. And so what we're doing is training in the next couple of weeks to make sure that everyone is ready and have thought about their business, get their, you know, things that we don't normally have time for. You know, business plans. I talk about business plans and business models. Although people go, oh, you know, I can't be, I'll just carry on doing what I'm doing. They could earn double what they were doing if they'd done proper business plans and strategy sessions the way we operate them. So we're going to get started with some free training next week to help businesses get on board with those things while there is time. You can either watch Netflix or you can improve your business. The two probably don't go side by side, right? So you know, we're offering that as a free service to businesses over the next 2 weeks. All right, this is Gordon De Silva on micro companies, on personal service companies, and how this COVID support system will work for you. Not brilliant, I know, but you know, at least now you know. All right, take care. This is Gordon wishing you well. Take care, all the best. Goodbye.